Hello, welcome to 20 Years a Migrant. In this episode, we're talking about how weird British homes are.
Yo,
Hello, I'm Yari Claire,
I am Lawrence.
and we are doing our podcast as per usual.
Our podcast, what is it about? Just for the people who don't know.
I don't know what it's about. What is it about? It's about life in the UK.
Migrant
Life in the UK.
Yeah,
Especially for people who've been here for 20 years or more.
yeah.
And we talk about all sorts of topics that are interesting and things that we have found different
Yeah, it's
being
sort of
in this country.
yeah, it's sort of like a history and observations.
Yeah.
Yeah. We compare with where we are from
Yeah.
and where our guests from, because sometimes we have guests.
Yep.
But not
And
today.
we encourage you to watch. Listen to this YouTuber. I have a YouTube channel, guys. We encourage you to listen from the start to the end.
Please
And
tell others.
tell others, share the podcast. And if you want to be a guest, you are 100% welcome, so long as you've been here at least 20 years.
And you are in
the
interesting
UK.
stories.
Yeah.
You're going to come in and promote your business. That's not what we are about. And we prefer, like, if you are, I don't know, a doctor. I don't know. If you're a doctor, then come talk about doctoring. Is that interesting?
Did you
No,
say
that
no?
might be interesting.
We don't want
But-
doctors to come and talk about doctoring.
To talk about something else, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
want you to talk about you. It's not about your profession.
Your profession.
Yeah, but if you have interesting stories about them, then fair enough.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know,
But anyway, so today we're talking about
British homes.
the things that we've observed in British homes.
Yep. And the one thing for me is, what is it?
Double sink.
No, it's the downstairs toilet.
What about
Downstairs bathroom. Okay, not
what about
downstairs
downstairs
toilet.
one?
Downstairs bathroom.
What about it?
That was just so weird because the way the downstairs bathroom was set up, you would pass through the kitchen and go into the toilets / bathroom, and then if you're finished, you're coming out, going all the way upstairs to your bedroom. It's just weird.
So which house are you talking about?
Houses in Britain that have downstairs bathrooms, they all go through the kitchen. That's how they were built back in the day.
Well, no, I think it's because I know like some old flats in London that to go to the toilet, you go through the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right, but there was no upstairs. So when you're talking about upstairs, I'm trying to remember if I've been to a house like that.
Oh,
That
you
had,
probably
that
haven't
had-
seen it.
That had a bathroom downstairs.
Yeah, that's
Go to the
the standard. Not all of them, but majority of the ones that have bathrooms downstairs,
Yeah.
you have to go through the kitchen. So now imagine you've gone to shower, and you're passing through the lounge where everyone is sat wearing your
The lounge, not the
with your-
kitchen.
or with your towel around you. No, because you have to come down and then you go through the lounge, through the kitchen, to the bathroom, finish, come all the way back, go and then go upstairs. It was just so weird.
So was the bathroom an extension?
No, that was the standard.
Oh, wowzers.
Yeah, some of these old British homes, that was the standard. I'm surprised because you watch all these grand design shows and stuff.
All right.
These houses have
Maybe I've
had,
just not observed.
but obviously when people move in that have money or whatever, they will renovate
I think.
and put the bathroom upstairs. And then leave it as a downstairs toilet or something, or extend the kitchen.
Because growing up, because my parents were born in Mbare, right? And I remember my grandma's place. The toilets were over there, away from the house, and you would never go alone there. Right? You have to go with someone because.
What do you mean away from the house? Like
No, it's like at the bottom of the garden. Like
Okay.
outside the house.
Yeah.
So you go outside, we walk over there. Right?
Have you seen houses here that have that? Do you remember?
I've
Do you
I,
remember
I've
last?
heard
Do
about
you remember
that.
when your brother was viewing that house, 2 junctions up this way,
Oh yes, 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 yes.
and
It
it
had
had a toilet
it,
and like
yeah.
a little
That was
yeah,
the old yeah.
the old houses.
So yeah, so the colonizers, they just put the same thing back in Zimbabwe
Yeah,
then in
and
those
the toilet
places.
down there. But I don't know if it was like a second toilet or what. I don't know. It's just
No, I think
weird.
they just had an outside one.
Mm.
It was built like that. Can you imagine the freezing cold?
Because have you seen Tinashe has got an outside toilet, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
But can you imagine like this? Because I think before they didn't have toilets in the house. You had to go outside. So this country always cold,
always cold,
always raining,
always raining.
and there you are. You're in a rush to go to
But they were used to it. That was their norm.
just
That was their norm. And they weren't as weak as us. Or maybe they were because they all died of
They
the flu, bubonic plague
they
and all
died.
sorts.
They died at 38.
And they died at 38.
At 38, you were old.
So, we might say they were strong, but no, they were dying.
Because
Yeah.
okay, speaking of bathrooms,
Mm.
I've seen carpets in bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why did that happen?
I don't know, Lawrence. Okay, so let me tell you a story, right? So when I moved into this house, there was a carpet in the bathroom.
Okay.
And guess what was the first thing I ripped out? The carpet in the bathroom. And you know what, right? So the people that lived here, they had dogs. They had 2 dogs, 2 tiny dogs. I remember coming to view the place, and they had 2 little tiny. I don't know what. I'm not a dog person. I don't know, but they were tiny. Those little poodle type size. So we come to view the house, and I'm like, oh, okay. And all I could smell was dog hairs and dog poop in the house. I don't know how this woman was living. So come move-in day, now you're seeing it in a different light, because when you're viewing, your eyes are like as if you like
You think I'll sort this out.
like a sweet like you've opened a like, wow, this I can do this.
You're also driven by budget.
But it's
the
the same.
price.
But it's not like when you're buying a house. Even when you're just viewing a house, or when you're going to rent a house, it's only when you move in you're like, but I didn't. How come I didn't notice this? How come I didn't see this? How come I
Yeah.
didn't? Anyway, so I go into the bathroom. Now, I'd seen the carpet, but I hadn't noticed that this is where she used to. Because obviously, where else are you going to bath your dogs, right? So she bathed them in the bathroom.
Right.
Oh, now I'm just itching now thinking about it. So there were dog hairs on the carpet. The carpet was blue, but it looked black. I don't know. In the radiator,
Yeah. Yes.
there were dog hairs that were covered to the brim. So I was looking at all these things. I was like, how did I not see this? So lucky enough, I moved in June. So it was hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am not turning these radiators on until I have cleaned each and every radiator. And lucky enough, obviously, you could only turn them on, October or whatever. But so I had to have them clean because, if you turn it on with those dog hairs, the smell. Oh,
Now, for me,
I
it's
was thinking about it.
this thing about carpets, like in the toilet. Was there carpet in the toilet?
Yeah.
Because one time I went for an interview, early days, at a nursing home, and they had carpets everywhere. Right? These old people. You walk in, it just hits you the wee because people are weeing on the carpet.
Yeah. And even if you're the best weer, is there such a thing?
You might miss.
You're the best weer. There will be an accident.
Imagine stepping on a thing, on a damp carpet with bare feet.
I can't even imagine.
What's worse, stepping in a toilet, right? On wet carpet, or outside stepping on a snail in socks, wearing stepping on a snail.
Why are you talking about a poor snail? Bless.
Well, accidents. They are both accidents.
Ah, no. Lawrence, no, don't.
What's worse? Would you rather?
No, bathroom. The first time I came across that, I was just disgusted as well.
Yeah, for me, it's the carpets in the bathroom.
I just
I don't know
can't.
why. I wonder if it's like that in other European countries.
I don't know either. But I will advocate for toilet mats and toilet bath mats, because the last thing, especially in toilets, like if you've got a toilet, if you don't have a toilet mat,
Yeah.
I don't know how people do that. I don't, because people will wee, like we were saying, and there'll be wee on the floor. And that's not going anywhere because it's wet.
Yeah.
And then you walk in and you step on that.
You-
At least with a mat, it absorbs. And then you
And
just
then
chuck it in the
you chuck
chuck it in the washing machine,
Or
and
chuck
then
it away.
pull it out and then put it back in, or whatever you
wash
do.
It, yeah, you can wash
But
it.
you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
wash it, So people who don't have. Sorry, guys, if you're one of them, but hey, I don't know. I don't know how you do that.
If you've got a carpet in the bathroom, take it out. Okay. Put some vinyl. That's cheaper. Put some vinyl.
If I tell you what
Get
I
a
did,
toilet
Lawrence,
Get a toilet. Okay, that's another different episode. That's for your YouTube channel.
eh?
You can.
No.
you
I'm
can-
just saying. I'm agreeing with you with the vinyl, because I was
Yeah.
like, I just need something, because obviously there was just floorboards,
Because
and
laminate
I
might
had
be
to get some
expensive.
cheap stick-on vinyl.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, because
Because I was like,
might
this
be
will
a bit
work
pricey.
for
Yeah,
now
it will work.
until things are sorted. Because I was like, no to carpet. I think there's a video somewhere that I took intending to vlog.
Oh my god, you were talking people there's we on the carpet. Anywho,
No, it was. I don't think I pulled that one out on video, but it was because there was carpet all the way. Yeah, it was, guys. The carpets. Anyway, that's another episode for another day. But we're talking about British homes. Isn't
separate
it? So,
taps, separate hot and cold taps.
Yeah.
Does that bother you?
Not
It
really.
bothers some people. It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me because we grew up with separate hot and cold taps.
Well,
But the only thing is that bothers me is that because it didn't have a shower, and if you're sharing a house, because back in the day, if you're sharing a house, you'd either use a bucket, or people will clean. Basically, people would clean the tub. But if you're sharing a house with people that don't clean after themselves, I'm not jumping in that tub. So I want a shower. But then most of the old houses, when we first came, didn't have showers, or didn't have electric showers and stuff like that. So I remember going to this Asian shop, right, and bought this. It's like
mixer.
a hose pipe.
that mixer. So
Yeah,
that mixes
it's a
the
mixer.
two. Yeah.
And then you put the it looked like a V, and so it's a pipe.
Yeah,
And then
I know
then
that
you
thing.
put,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
called
you
a
put
mixer.
in the
Shower
hot,
mixer.
and then you put in the cold. Then you'd hold it while you bath.
Or I
So,
think you can even clip it on the top. So some of them will come. with a
maybe
clip.
the newer ones, but back then it wasn't. They weren't that posh.
But then it's the idea that you go with the hot water, right? And try mixing with the trying to mix with the cold.
But that thing was
And
a
hopefully it's
godsend.
not too
Once I found it, I was like,
excessive.
thank goodness for this. It was a godsend. Because
Do you know what? I never thought about that. Electric showers. Somehow they feel like they were always there, but they were not.
no, they weren't.
I've been here a long time.
Yeah. They weren't. They used to be connected to the boiler back in the day.
Yeah.
And then they started being electrical. But
Yeah.
they did have showers, but they were connected to the boiler.
The boiler. But I
So
think
the-
the thing about the boiler, right? If you are sharing a house and someone takes 30-minute showers, you
Yeah.
might have a cold shower.
Might have a cold shower.
But this one, the instant electric one, they use more electricity, but more reliable, I guess.
Yeah.
I never think about.
I don't think I wouldn't say they use more electricity as such, because remember the boiler, unless if you're switching it on and off, that thing would be heating that water all day long.
No, but what I'm saying is right. Sometimes the boiler, depending on capacity, isn't it? Right. So if you take a long shower, there's 5 of you, or you're showering in the morning, for example, right? By the time you maybe it hasn't kept up with you, because I was going to say something about the. I forgot what I was going to say, but anyway, never mind. Maybe.
Maybe it will come to you.
No, okay. Well, I think about the separate taps,
yeah.
right? because what they say is the water in the boiler, it never used to be. I think it used to stand for a long time.
Mm.
So what they used to say is don't drink it.
Oh.
They used to say don't drink it because it's staying a long time. So this is why it was separate. This is why they separated the taps to say this water you can drink. This water, they try to separate it that way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's one of the reasons why they had separate hot and cold.
Right. I
And
didn't
then,
know that.
and then the next thing about the British homes
Mm.
is the box room, because there are a lot of 3-bed houses,
Mm.
and the third bedroom, bruh,
Our third bedroom though does
big.
really well. It does really really well.
It's bigger
It
because
fits a double bed nicely with space on the left or the
yeah,
right side, depending on. It has to be obviously against the wall, but but there's enough space for a
there's enough
double
space.
bed,
There's
with
enough space
space
for
for the
double bed.
wardrobe, and
A lot of them is just a single bed.
yeah. My brother, the first house he bought, I was the only girl in the house with 3 boys, so I had the I
Really?
had the
It's usually boys who are put in there, because I know boys are the ones who are
no,
usually
but then
put in that tiny.
my brother had his main bedroom.
Is
It's
his
his
house.
house, and then the 2 boys had the
You're
second
sharing.
bedroom,
Ah,
and
right.
then I
Okay.
had the box room. You see, there was no way I could have been like, no, I want the bigger room, and 2 boys are sharing a box room, and it was a proper box room that would only fit a single.
Yeah. And then
It wasn't a single bed. It was a what was it? The not double. It's like a medium. What do they call it? It's got a
3/4.
name. 3/4.
3/4.
The 3/4 bed. Yeah.
And then you walked in sideways.
No. It was just yeah.
Be-
And then at the end I had a small little wardrobe.
because they
And
try to start it out as an office now.
what's that? Oh, you mean
Depending
the thing?
the box room, the office, or a
Yeah.
nursery, or whatever. Reminds me, one time I was speaking at work. I was speaking to a lady who said that I've got a problem in my yoga room. And I'm thinking, yoga room? Where's a yoga room?
Yeah.
Like it's a normal thing. It's just a box room, I guess.
Wow. Yeah.
And then there's a thing that I did tell you earlier, that the ultimate British flex,
What's that?
the conservatory.
Ah, yes.
You want one?
We wanted one, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
It was too cheap. Nah, I just thought that
They charged us
oh my god, it was
£18,000.
80,000. I'm like, sorry, what now?
£18,000. We were like,
18 grand. It's maybe this is why people flex.
right?
If they're paying that
That's
much.
the thing, though, because
or
I thought by now conservatories would be cheap, but I think they've just gone up higher
just
and
going
higher.
up and
in
high
price,
and high. Yeah.
Because when they first started, they were very expensive, yeah. But I think just generally expanding your house in the UK is expensive.
Very expensive. And
Because every single house, unless if you live in a mansion or those 5-bedroom houses, the ones that they're building these days. But if you've got the traditional three up, 2 down, or 3 up, 3 down, then just expanding that to something else
it is very expensive,
It's
and
very
it's big
expensive.
business. Sometimes I wish I was. I'm lying. I was gonna say I wish I was a builder. I don't wish I was a builder.
For the money,
I
you
wish
you
I
were
was a
builder, but
carpenter.
after that, a carpenter, okay.
Like a furniture carpenter. Ah, that would be a thing. And maybe I just start. Nah, no,
flex.
I'm lying. But then, so the conservatories, there are this glass room. But what's the benefits of a thing though, of a conservatory?
It's an extra room. You get a
For
lot of
storage.
sunlight. It's also for vitamin D because
Sunlight. What for the 5 days a week? For five
no,
days a year.
but that's the thing though, because conservatories can be, if they're done right, can be really nice in winter because the sun. Like how today the sun was out. Imagine sitting in your car.
Yeah.
You know that feeling you get when you sit in your car. The windows are closed. It's winter, but you're warm. You can feel the sun. that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
So yeah, so people with conservatories get a bit of
But
vitamin
sometimes,
D and
but
stuff like that. Yes, it might not be might not be all year round because sometimes that sun can be cold also. Somehow, I don't even know how the UK sun.
no, it's like a fridge light.
It's like a fridge light. You open it, it's like, but it's still cold. But sometimes it can be warm. Like today, if you sat outside, if you sat by the window, you'd be like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah. No, but I think it's because conservatories, they are quite nice, but I've seen if you have to use it, I think. If you don't, it becomes
A dumping.
yeah, when
Yeah.
people are just storing things or leaving their plants there.
No, conservatories are good for plants though, because obviously, like I mentioned, the light.
Yeah,
So they're good for that. And I've seen really nice ones where people have made it into a green room or garden room or whatever they want to call it. But it's still a conservatory. But like what you were saying about yoga.
yeah,
Yoga room.
yoga room.
Yeah. So they call it a green room or garden room or whatever else. So I've seen nice ones. You have to be intentional about your house, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, talking about the weather and stuff like that. It's a thing that we've thought about. I don't know if it's necessary or not. Like the lack of aircon, because in America, I think we sort of have the same climate.
Climate.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But in the summer, when the heat waves come, we don't have aircon.
Do you reckon in New York they
We
have
have
aircon?
to. Yes.
Is it?
Yeah. You think they're all
In their
buying?
houses?
I think so.
Mm.
I don't know.
'Cause New
I
York
assume so.
is more our weather. I can't say for
I think it's even
California.
cold.
Yeah, it's
In
even
California,
colder.
yeah,
That's what I'm
because
saying. It's more because obviously you can't compare with California, Texas, Atlanta, all that kind of stuff. They have nice weather there.
what because when it gets hot, right, and maybe sometimes you're working from home, you just have to suffer quietly,
Exactly.
or buy a cheap fan from Argos. That's how you survive the heat wave.
Lawrence is
Yeah,
always
those.
laughing at me
When do I
with
laugh
my
at you?
fans because I bought you that fan over there. I have
Yeah,
this fan and they work fine.
but I forget. You have to remind
And
me that
that's
I've
the
got a
thing.
fan.
So you can't be like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a fan when you
I
have
need
them
aircon. I need aircon.
for the 2 days of summer,
Yes.
2 heat
Well,
waves.
you wanted you wanted a conservatory for the 5 days of summer.
No, this is what I'm saying. The conservatory can be nice even in winter like today. So it won't be 5 days.
You have
So
to.
you feel like you've had more and you can get your vitamin D instead of taking tablets. You see? But anyway, we decided we were not going to do that. There's only two of us in the house anyway. We've got
Yeah.
enough space. But in the event that we need more space, it will be a consideration.
Oh,
Or unless if Lawrence buys me a nice big house
wow.
with a conservatory,
Already.
like my house in Fiskerton.
Oh my God, Fiskerton. Fiskerton, would you prefer Fiskerton or down south?
Fiskerton. Okay, you need to show me down south what you're talking about. You mean like that place we went to? That was nice though.
Which place?
For the
Oh
50th.
no, that was nice, but that looks very expensive.
Yeah, but have you looked at the prices?
It just looks expensive.
Oh, well, there you go. This is it's you just dismissing it. You're the one who said down south. So that area will be nice. But I need to be working from home if I'm working.
And one thing I missed
Because I'm
about
not going into London.
one thing I missed about bathrooms.
Mm.
It's like there are no plug sockets in the bathroom.
Oh
Bathrooms.
yeah, that's an ick. Do icks only apply to men or women?
I don't know.
Wow, it's an ick for a
think-
bathroom. Ugh.
So
Why don't they have Why don't they
is it
have plugs?
safety?
Yeah, but Americans have them. Like even the ones for shaving.
Yeah.
Those little sockets. We're not saying we
If you
want.
go to the hotel, if you go to hotels, they've got them in hotels.
Yeah, so some hotels, not all of them, but yeah, but those little, yeah, they should have those. but somehow.
So there's nowhere to plug in your shaving machine, your hair dryer, your toothbrush. You have to.
But obviously they say it's for, in case you're doing it and then you drop it in water in the bathtub and then you're in the bathtub and then
What you stop?
you're shaving.
Okay,
in
so
the
if you are
bathtub and
shaving in
then
the
you drop it
bathtub,
and then
you're dead.
my friend.
Yeah, you're dead. That it will kill you dead. Electricity will kill you dead if you drop. If you drop. It's,
I think the reason why the Americans have it is because their bathrooms are quite large. So they'll have the socket far away from the bathtub.
you can have a long cable.
Yeah, but that's if you're desperate to kill yourself.
Well,
But because that's what you're saying.
you want to
kill
say
yourself.
you want to stop accidents happening.
Yeah, but by the time you get a long no, I don't think so. It's just for the normal people would want to just be in there for them to
Dry your hair.
charge the electric toothbrush, to shave your head or your beard or whatever, to dry your hair.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
it just depends
That's
on
it. Those
if you're
three
doing the
things,
bathroom,
really.
you need batteries now. Yeah. It's
See, we can't even charge our electric toothbrush. We have to charge it in a separate room,
yeah.
which is like, what? But anyway. It's all good.
So
We're used to it now. 20 years, we shouldn't
So
be
my thing
complaining.
is right. So those there are no electric sockets in the bathroom, but we have carpets in the bathroom. It can be about safety because look, there's disease. It's fine to have disease
Oh, Lawrence. come
rather
on.
than being
Now I'm just now I'm
electrocuted.
just thinking of that carpet again.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay, let's go to something that bamboozles Americans.
kettles.
Well, nah, well, that's not a quirk. That's just
No,
normal.
you just boil your water in a pan in a pot on the stove. You're like, have you guys not heard of kettles? But anyway, carry on.
No, I was going to mention the washing machine in the kitchen. You know, and why it doesn't bother me is for the first 20 something years in my life, I never used a washing machine. So coming over here and sitting in the kitchen, it's no biggie,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't know
But
that
Americans-
that was an argument. Is that an argument on Twitter or something?
Well, yeah, they're like I've got washing machines in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Is it because they think, oh yeah, so you're washing your underwear in the kitchen?
I never thought of it like that. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I don't know.
But it's just the Americans. They think they're always right. Everywhere else we go, people have washing machines in kitchens in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, wherever. Washing machines in kitchens. Unless your house is, a little bit bigger or whatever.
or it
and
might be a space
and you
somewhere.
have space and you've got a laundry room or whatever else. But generally, like my sister's place, it's in the kitchen.
We don't. Oh yeah, we don't have it in the kitchen.
Yeah,
We
technically
just
we don't
we just
have
we
it.
don't have it in the kitchen.
We
Yeah,
have it under the stairs.
we have it under the stairs. Right? No, it could be in the kitchen though. If you wanted to have it in the kitchen.
Yeah, it could be behind but then you wouldn't be able to open it. That's the thing. By the fridge.
Ah,
Just
right. Okay. Yeah. No, the thing is, I've seen enough horror movies that whenever someone decides to go do the laundry at 2 a.m. in the dark or in the basement in America.
Oh yeah, they have it in the
Right.
basement. So if they don't have a laundry room like most people.
So
Or some people,
so
should I
they
say.
go down there, and then there's a power cut whilst they're down there in the
At 2 a.m. doing their
whatever.
laundry.
Yeah, whatever. For some reason, right? So, for me, would you rather be murdered in the basement, or
What kind of option is
would
that?
you
Or
rather be murdered in the
kitchen?
basement, or just have the spin cycle start in your kitchen whilst you're making tea? It's just an inconvenience, murder or inconvenience. You know what I mean? No, because a murderer or a horror person is a horror monster is not going to hide in your kitchen, isn't it? You would have seen them sooner. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
gosh.
we're
But at 2
good.
a.m., because they might be hiding in my kitchen.
But you'll see them.
Because it's now 2 a.m.
No. Because no.
It's like a
If
little
you go-
tokoloshi.
No, if you
Ka
go,
horror person.
if you go in the kitchen and there's a horror monster in the
A
kitchen,
goblin.
and then you scream,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to hear it,
All right,
and
okay.
then run.
But what if I lived on my own?
If you lived on your own,
Uh-huh. And there's a horror thing.
you still hear it. Maybe your neighbor will hear it because usually the walls are paper thin in some of
Well,
these
yeah,
houses.
that's
In
the
some
thing.
of these houses,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, if you go in the basement,
Yeah.
goodbye.
Goodbye. Night night.
You're gonna be one of the people who die first in the movies. I don't know why did they go. Horror movies are so silly. Why do there's a power cut and then you have to go in the basement? Why did you put it in the basement? That's
Because that's where all the ugly things go. That's where you put all your ugly things, isn't it?
So you put your electric socket in the basement
Yeah.
and you have to go down in the basement. It's
Yeah.
so dark.
Yeah. When it goes out.
Hello? Is anybody here? Hello?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah. To
Look,
fix the
man,
thing.
I am staying. I'm not going in the basement. When there's a bug, why are you going in the basement? So yeah, for me, I would defend. I think I can live with I can live with the kitchen in there, whatever. With the kitchen, the washing machine.
Washing
in the
machine
kitchen.
in the kitchen, yeah.
Because I won't get mad at.
Any excuse, Lawrence, not to have, you know.
Because we did mention the thin walls in the. Have you ever lived in a house with thin walls? With really thin walls in the
I
UK?
have a flat. It was a new build.
New builds.
Yeah.
Oh, the scum of the scums.
The scammers.
Oh my god.
It was a new build and there were flats. So you'd know so it's literally as if it's one big empty space
Just divide.
and then they just divide it. That's what it was like.
So if you could hear your neighbor sneeze,
I could hear them.
you could say bless you.
I could hear them and they could probably hear me. Oh my God. That was the worst. And they used to fight a lot and they had a child as well that used to cry.
You know what? It always happens that when there's a child, children cry.
Yeah, children
For
cry.
no
But then
good
but then
reason.
they used to fight and it triggered the child. And the child was tiny.
So,
Well,
where were you
the cry
living?
was a flat. It was a new build in Bestwood with Tinashe
Okay.
when we got chucked out of Tawanda's house.
We knew it. Look, you say it like Tawna checked you out. He asked you to move nicely. Okay? Because he was moving on with his life.
It was like these adults, they need
to.
need to leave. I took it personal. Hey, I was like, but I pay rent. No, you don't. Leave.
Leave.
Go and be independent elsewhere. Oh man, I was taking the mic. I think if I think about it,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you did mention like our washing machine is under the stairs.
Mm.
It's where a lot of people tend to store stuff under the stairs.
Yeah.
If you have understood, if you don't have under stairs storage,
Mm.
tough luck.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're lucky, aren't we?
because I've seen there's been people like who put drawers on the stairs themselves.
Yeah, that's nice. I wish we could have that.
Is it difficult to do?
I don't know. You'd have to get rid of the stairs.
Really?
Mm.
How will I go to bed?
Hmm?
How will I go to bed?
No, it's in the old stairs.
And then put new ones.
Yeah, because when I took the cupboard the thing off, what you call it? When I took the carpet off,
Yeah.
the floorboards are terrible. They're not the best floorboards.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'd have to get rid of those floorboards to put in nice ones so that you can have drawers.
Right.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So they're not the best.
So what? So we want to go there and keep Christmas decorations.
Right? That would be
And,
not the
what
Christmas
else?
tree. The Christmas tree is still up. Hey, guys.
Hey,
Pray for me.
the 5th of March, and our Christmas tree is still up.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get it down. Okay.
No one is
I
coming
just
here.
don't like going into the loft, Lawrence. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're
Look,
talking about.
monsters, they don't climb, they go down.
I don't like going into the loft. Okay. I just have this thing about going through the ceiling by mistake, and also it's just uncomfortable. It's painful to go up there.
I'll go up.
No, but you're in pain. This is the problem.
I'll go up.
Who took the tree down? Was it Camilla?
Because meals, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now I'll go. I'll go up.
And also there's other things that need to go up there. So it's just there's the tree, which is still up. The what you call it, the bed legs,
The bed legs.
the legs of the bed, the
Okay.
electric blanket.
Okay.
And
Why
there's-
do you
there's-
have all this stuff?
And there's something else. There's a fourth thing. Oh, the mattress protector. No, the
Right.
mattress protector, mattress topper. It's a mattress topper. Because we had visitors, we had
You know,
meals,
that
right?
that mattress topper, right? That's just a suggestion of a mattress topper. It's an imagination.
It's an imagination. It's the worst thing,
Because I did sleep on that bed. Whew. Whew.
right? It's not the best. It's not the best. I've seen some being advertised on TikTok. And I'm thinking,
You look, we need to go to like the DFS or something and fly.
you know
on
what? I
one.
actually went to DFS looking at sofa beds, because
Yeah.
we just want to get rid of this one, because I don't want to buy like a topper and then we've got these things and it's just things. If we just get a nice sofa bed,
But the thing about sofa bed, right? It's a terrible sofa that turns into a terrible bed, usually.
no, the ones I saw were nice. I just need
Okay.
it pulled up though.
What do you mean?
Like the sofa was nice to sit on.
Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't see anybody to sort of say, can you help me pull this bed? I want to see
Because
what it looks like.
I do sit on that thing sometimes.
Mm.
I'm thinking this is uncomfortable. It just
It's just for aesthetics, mate.
it looks. Oh, okay.
All right.
Well,
It serves its purpose, all right.
until someone visits. And
No,
then,
you know what? I got that sofa bed. I would not have purchased it if
You just for TikTok.
one of my favorite, no, it wasn't TikTok. It was Instagram, actually. One of my favorite Instagram couples
Okay.
told me that, oh no, this is the most comfortable bed. And they even did a whole reel. They're obviously being paid.
Just
Did a whole reel. I was looking at the reel and they looked comfortable and they were like, oh, this is so comfy. Ah. And I was like, okay,
I trust them.
I trust them.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
But you've been got.
I've been got. I got.
Because anyone can get got.
I got.
And then you got got.
I got. But yeah, no. I need to go up into the loft. But I think there was a time I had a look up there. Remember when we had somebody come in? Because we wanted to get like a proper ladder put in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How much they ask for again?
I can't remember. And to have a proper ladder put in, because at the minute we have this like ladder that we have to pull out. And then while he was looking up there, we sort of said, like a loft conversion, to have a look to see what, if we can do something up there. But it's not very high, is it?
Nah,
The ceilings,
we should just move to Fisketton.
Right?
Yeah.
But that would be nice though if you can have that renovated and then it can be an office. No one's can go up there.
Why me? Why did you go up there?
No, I like it down here.
Well, I like it down here too. Because if you're scared of going in the loft, you want me to get murdered in the loft.
I'll get murdered first because I'll be down here.
And I'll be stuck. I can't run away up there. I'm even higher. Talking of loft conversion, well, like, because I always imagined, because I remember one of my colleagues, he used to work he had converted into his den, his man cave. But he said it was cold.
Yeah, he didn't insulate it, did he? I
That's-
lived
that's what I always
in a
imagine.
place like that once.
so
I think I told her. I
If-
spoke about it in one of the podcasts.
If you bend your head, bend your neck.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was a comfortable height. So long as you
It walk
walk
in
sort
the
of in the
middle.
middle, kind of, up to a certain point, and
Like,
then the other point where the sink and stuff was, because you wouldn't be any closer. So it was actually a decent height, to be honest. So it wasn't too bad. But hey, in summer it was hot, and in winter it was cold. And obviously winter is the longest period. So yeah. But I spoke about it in a previous podcast. I can't remember which one it is now.
I should listen.
Yeah,
I should listen to you when you speak.
you should. You don't remember.
No, some of them I forget. I forget what we mentioned.
I think
And
we're talking,
I always
what were we
worry
talking about.
about-
We're talking about housemates.
Is it?
Yes, the
Oh,
housemates.
no,
episode.
I think I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I always worry about repeating what I've said before.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's just
It's
how
fine.
life
That's-
works.
that's
We
how
just
life
repeat
works.
ourselves.
And probably somebody hasn't listened to Housemates episode and
Yeah.
will listen to this one. So, it is what it is.
And, well, you rented houses, renting rooms and stuff. Do you ever have like a tiny fridge?
Yeah, in the place
In
I
the
just spoke
loft.
to you about. Yeah, because it couldn't be too tall, huh? Because
Yeah.
in the corner, and then then it would be weird if it was in the middle of the room because it's too tall. So so the guy had a small little fridge, but I was by myself, so
The first
And
place
half
I
the
moved
time-
in, there was just this tiny fridge.
and half the time I didn't cook. I was always at people's houses.
Oh, scrounging.
Not really scrounging, but I was at
What-
people's houses.
Scrounging.
No, it wasn't scrounging. I was
What is
at
it?
people's houses.
You were visiting.
I guess. Always found myself at people's houses. I would have food obviously in the fridge, but not a lot. Not enough to be like, ooh, let me meal prep or anything like that. I didn't have a freezer. That was the thing. It was just a fridge. So yes.
Anyway, do you have anything else that you
That I want to talk
find
about.
quirky? I find quirky about British homes.
I find this setup with our house very weird.
What is
Where-
this?
Where this is where they have a walk.
Well,
Houses with
I was
walks.
going to do a separate episode about that.
Oh,
About a separate
a
episode.
whole separate
about,
episode about houses with walks.
No, okay. The thing about we can just do it now, right? Not a whole episode anyway. But the thing about his street names, where he says walk, to me, what he says is it's a maze. People are going to get lost. If visitors or delivery drivers, they're going to get lost because the main entrance is where the front of the house is where in most houses is our front of the house.
You can't even explain it.
Okay.
How do you expect somebody to,
Okay,
not to get lost
This that
when you can't even explain it?
our front of the house is
the back.
where, in most cases, where the back is. So it's sort of, I was going to say flip flop.
Okay, so let me explain because Lawrence is failing
you draw it in the
miserably,
picture.
dismally, bismally, whichever one you want to call it. So basically, a walk. If you find a house that's on a walk, it means that you have to walk to the house. Usually, right? Cul-de-sac. It means that it's at the end of the road. It doesn't go anywhere. All that kind of stuff.
What
Anyway,
about gardens?
gardens. I don't know. which
There are no gardens. There's
they know gardens. But anyway, let's talk about the walk, right? So it means that you have to walk to get to the front of the house, basically, with most places, and that's how our house is set up here. So when we park outside, that's the back entrance. So you can come through the back, which is
Yeah.
fine. The car is there, you walk in, but that's the back entrance. The front entrance is at the front, but then you have to go around all the other houses, like walk all the way around to come to the front.
Yeah.
So the only person who comes to the front is the postman,
Yeah.
because that's where the
And Jehovah's Witness. they
and
came
Jehovah's
today.
Witness who came today to see Lawrence because his leg.
They were sent by Jesus.
There was anyway, Jesus. Yeah. So basically, that's a walk. Usually, if you look outside, most of we don't get to see our neighbors because of it.
I think it's the trouble with the walk in our case is there are some flats in the corner. So the house numbers they confuse the delivery drivers. I don't know how many flats. I think 4 or 5 flats in that corner.
It's just two.
It's just two.
One upstairs, one's down. Yeah.
All right. Wait, what about
This
the one?
corner's got 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought
the
there were 4
corners
as well.
have 4, and then the ends have. This one has 1.
Yeah, so it just confuses.
I mean 2. Sorry.
It just confuses. This is why I think I was gonna say this is how you end up with the fish and chips, but that's not. We don't know the reason. But
No, but at least ours is not. It's not too bad. I think 71. Oh, Chatauris. I think ours is not too bad.
it's not
but,
too bad.
But the ones after going that way, 73 onwards, then yeah, there's an issue.
You remember Joy got lost?
Who? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How did she get lost?
I have no idea.
But
how
she was
got
walking.
lost.
But no, did she?
She says she came with an Uber, and the Uber stopped somewhere, and then she just couldn't find number 71. Like people had come to the house for the first time. No one got lost,
Yeah.
but she got lost. And then she was trying to call me. Well, I was in the party, and then she was trying to knock on the door.
She
right?
even messaged me, I think.
I was like,
I was like, and then she said she knocked on the door.
I was like,
Bless her. If I think about it, God, that's yeah. It's not,
Yeah, but
it's not a great experience.
it's
But,
not a great experience. Yeah, yeah, but I think it's people just
but
get
we've
lost.
never had anyone get lost. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
You never.
Apart from the fish and chips guy and Joy.
Oh, remember the delivery we got
Which delivery?
for the chopping boards that belonged to Gemma.
Oh, that belonged to Gemma, but that was
Yeah.
just weird because she's on the opposite side.
No, there was no house number.
Yeah, but
on the
still, it was
delivery
weird.
thing.
Why us? Why choose us? Was it that guy? Was it that guy?
I
He was
don't
like,
know.
I know these guys. Let me just drop off.
Just
Yeah. Sometimes you get to learn your delivery guys. don't you? That guy was weird. Remember,
With
and then
the
he
blue
threw the
hair.
shoes over the thing. And, no, not the blue haired guy. The young. Was he young Ethiopian? He looked Ethiopian or Somalian. I don't know. Do you remember him with the shoes? And then he he threw them over the fence. Over
and then
gate.
he came to get them.
And then I took them and I was like, oh no, I forgot. The app doesn't work, but I need to do something before I hand them over to. Then he sat in the car for hours, or maybe minutes. But you know, for delivery
For a
people,
long
that's
time.
hours.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, has he delivered yet?
And then he just left.
And then he just left.
I think.
And then Mills is the one that then came and says, oh,
He's left. It's a
he's
delivery.
now left the shoes. But it took at least a good 20 minutes. But anyway.
Yeah, because I think I asked the internet for this thing about radiator behind curtains. I don't remember that.
Doing what? Radiators. behind them.
Radiators behind curtains. That's not
Still a
a
thing.
thing. Is it?
Yeah, you know, at Charles and Melissa's place, they've got a radiator just by the, you know, when you're sat there, the radiator's by the curtains.
Well, curtains. Is it what was the idea that when the
When the cold
cold air
in,
comes in,
yeah.
it's warmed up?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what the thinking was, but yeah. I mean, even in there, we've got the radiator by the window. But then I don't know if they thought there was no.
Do you know what? I completely forgot that
In
that
your
radiator
office.
feels useless to me.
Maybe that's why they moved them because
need
they were
to-
probably they thought that was it would work, but it doesn't work.
Maybe I need to turn my desk and face outside.
I don't know.
Because yeah, it is behind the curtain. I completely forgot. Yeah, I was saying I don't remember that. Yeah, it is behind the curtain. It is quite useless.
But it gets hot though. I don't know. Maybe it's because you'll be cold. You're just generally cold. I don't know. But last time when I walked in, it was boiling hot in there.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, you're talking about we're talking about street names. We're talking about the walk. Why I'm going about the gardens? You know those houses over there. I'm pointing somewhere near us. Across, you know where the nursing, where the care home
Oh, yeah,
is.
yeah.
A lot of them are called gardens.
The bungalows.
No, not the bungalows. The ones, you know where that nursing home is. Is it called Dorchester?
Dorchester. Are
What is it
you
called?
thinking of your friend's birthday?
No, not Dorchester. No, this nursing home. What is it called? The one.
I don't know. Park, I think. Park Lane. Park something.
Well, the house is opposite that. Right.
The street is called
The streets
Gardens.
there behind there are called something
Gardens.
gardens.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking, where is the garden? right?
Yeah.
Or when they say park,
Yeah.
you want to whatever park. I'm like, what park are you talking about?
Let's call it Road, Street, Cul-de-sac.
From
Walk is alright because at least it's self-explanatory. But yeah,
yeah, for me, I
when you
always
start saying gardens,
gardens. Yeah, just and everything is when it says garden, it should be a nice place. Anywho,
anyhow, thank you guys for listening.
yeah. So I don't know if you have anything that you have seen that's kind of strange
In your home.
in your home or in any British homes that you think, what is that? You're like, why is it like that? Share with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I'm sure
I
there's
think
a lot of
the
stuff.
one thing we haven't mentioned is the lights. That's one thing I always think, like, especially in here. It's like, why aren't they central?
Okay, so we're basically griping about our house now.
No, but I've seen it in other houses.
Well,
But when people move in, like, sometimes they.
no, no,
Okay.
no, I just switched.
Sometimes they move them to the center, but old houses they used to put them towards the window. They said that if your light is on, people can't see
Inside.
inside.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that was the reason why they did that. But it's annoying, especially like in that room, when because the light is not central, so we have to have another light on one side of of the room. So, but yeah, it's a bit weird.
Yeah,
Because I think even in there as well, it's towards.
yeah, in every room.
Mm.
And that light is not powerful. Well, that's nothing to do with the house, though. That's just
That's the bulb.
just the bulb. We're waiting for it to die. I don't. I might get one of those lights that you put on the computer on the monitor
Okay.
when I'm back at work, which is pretty soon.
Okay.
Because, yeah. Oh, now I'm talking about my own life. Anywho, thank you so much for listening.
Thank
And
you.
please tell others about the show.
Yes.
And if you can, rate the show on like on iTunes.
iTunes.
Is it iTunes?
I don't know.
Apple Podcasts. Or
And if
wherever
you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe.
Sometimes I wonder if I bother putting on YouTube. Who's listening on YouTube?
Does it take a long time to put on YouTube?
No, it doesn't. I just put it on one place,
Mm.
and then it just goes everywhere.
What?
But
Just leave it there.
people did not to listen on YouTube because they
fine.
just listen to like Spotify and things like that.
Yeah.
But but anyway, yeah. So you can listen to this on YouTube. If when you
I
tell
think it's
others,
just good because you know like what happened with Google Podcasts
yeah,
where they just disappeared. So
Yeah.
imagine if you weren't putting it on all the other platforms and then you're like, my podcast is gone.
yeah. I think about YouTube. The nice thing about it is because I upload this to Spotify, so it's just a link. They just link to say, oh, this thing is here, and then it gets uploaded everywhere.
Yeah.
So
So if it's
like
not,
Apple
so if it's not
Podcasts,
if it's not an issue to like
it's
you
not
have
an
to
issue as such.
upload here, then you upload here, then you
Yeah.
upload, then that's fine.
It
Just
might
leave
be
it.
a way for others to access.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So when you tell other people, if they don't have Spotify, they can listen on YouTube
on YouTube
or
or SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. Nah,
You stopped it.
I stopped that.
What was the other one?
Which one?
There was another one with a funny name.
Stitch
Stitch.
shut down.
Oh, see?
They shut down. You can listen to this on Amazon.
Mm.
Is it Amazon Music or Amazon Podcast? You can listen
Anyway.
to so many places.
Yeah. Anyway, let's
Just the
go.
idea.
Now people are rolling their eyes. I can see them right now.
Oh, you can?
I can.
Okay.
They're yawning and rolling their eyes and saying, "These guys, they should just now say goodbye." All right, guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.